Hello again, everybody. I'm back in the shop with a pretty special bike. If you watch the channel regularly, you guys know I love Miatas, especially the Miata 1000. I did another one of these bikes. I did a total restoration on it a few months ago. I'll put the link in the description below to that video if you missed it. So this bike came up on Facebook. I drove a total of 4 hours to get this bike, 2 hours out, 2 hours back. It wasn't quite what I expected when I got there. It's not as mint as the 86 I had bought a few months ago, but it's still a very cool bike. I'm gonna bring you guys in for a closer look and tell you the plan. Well, I don't really have a plan actually. So yeah, the stem is obviously not original. It's been changed to this horrific thing sometime in its life. The left side crank is not original. That's been changed. And just the overall condition of it doesn't look... I'm hoping a lot of this stuff, whatever it is on the paint, I'm going to be able to take off. But we'll see. I haven't quite decided what I'm going to do with it. I'm thinking Restomod. I know the purists will hate me for that. But I'm thinking something a little different, like a modern kind of touring bike for this. I like the handlebars. I think they're original. I like the flared handlebars. I'm torn for the... I don't know what to do about the brake levers and the shifting. That's why I'm thinking drifters. Thankfully, it's got the original wheels. It's got the 40 spoke rear and the 36 spoke front wheel. Again, I'm guessing it's an 89, judging by the rack mount on the front forks. Not quite sure. The 1000 decal is missing here. Just a solid bike, of course, that needs a lot of work though. So I'm, like I said, I don't really have a plan. I want to strip it all down, inspect all the parts, and then go from there. So you guys sit back and relax. I'm gonna get started. Ever since I got this bike, it's been a couple of weeks now, I've been wanting to take off this kickstand. I am not a kickstand guy. I understand they're useful to some people, but I can't understand how someone can clamp a kickstand onto such a nice frame. I mean, at least put a piece of tape underneath or something. But anyway, people do it. Oh, they put a little... I spoke too soon. They put a little piece of rubber here on the seat stay, but I don't think there's anything on the chain stay. We'll see. Maybe they did. That's what I'm having problems with. Okay. There we go. Oh, they did. Actually, there's a piece of rubber on one side. No, they put it on both sides, at least. Still some scuffs, pretty deep scratches on this chainstay, but oh well. The second thing I've been wanting to take off is this fender thingy. I'm just going to cut it off. I mean, fenders are nice, especially on a bike like this, like proper fenders. But I don't know what this thing is. Okay. Whenever I'm taking off racks or fenders, I always like to start from the bottom up. That way, when I'm loosening the last bolt, I kind of have control over it. It's kind of hanging off the top instead of just falling over. This rear cable looks relatively new. I think it was recently changed. I like to reuse cables unless they're in really bad shape. I don't think there's anything wrong with old cables. I actually like them because they're already stretched, and with a brand new cable you might put one in and then a couple of days later the cable stretches, you have to do readjusting. So at least with an older cable, it's stretched already, you don't have that problem. There's nothing wrong with that cable, so I'll save it. Let's do the chain. There's a quick link, but I've said in my other videos I'm not a big fan of quick links either. I don't know why. I'm old school. I like to use my chain tool. And I mostly work on older bikes, so that's okay. You can use the chain tool. The gentleman I bought the bike from said he oiled the chain regularly, and that he did, I can tell. Way too much oil on this chain. These old Derailleur DX are one of my favorite rear derailleurs. This one's being a little stubborn. Oh wow. Oh wow, that's pretty crazy. Wow, that's unusually tight. Okay, we got it. That little dust cap gave me grief. I had to break it off. It wasn't pretty, so I didn't film it. The bottom bracket bearings for sure need work. I mean, it feels totally dry. Make sure there's no washer in there. The dust cap obviously didn't work. I don't see the point in them anyways. I never use them. If you're doing regular maintenance on your bike, you don't need that dust cap. Yeah, that doesn't feel good, but let's hope for the best here. This is what it is when you're working with older bikes. You never know what you're going to run into. Okay. So this ugly stem is something else that I've been wanting to take off ever since I got this bike, along with the kickstand. This is that moment. Okay. I forgot the rear cable housing. There we go. My faithful old Campagnolo lock ring tool. This is a tool that I'd gotten for my own bike when I was a teenager. Still works, of course, on these older bottom brackets. Let's see how we're gonna do this. Want to make sure it's on there. Okay. Doesn't look too bad. Fixed cups are always scary. You don't know how long they've been on there. Probably the entire life of the bike's life, ever since it was built. Just want to clean it up, make sure my tool gets on there properly. Okay, let's give it a try. If it doesn't work, we'll get the breaker bar out. Of course, reverse thread. Oh. Oh, not bad at all. Beautiful. That was good. Excellent. One thing I've noticed on these older Miatas is this bulky cable stop. I mean, there's such nice, elegant frames. I don't think it goes with it. It's just such a bulky piece, and there's no need for it. I'm thinking maybe it's meant as an extra spacer, just to have the bars a bit higher. I don't know. So thankfully, what I thought was paint peeling off like a clear coat was just the residue of some label or some sticker they had on here. It's coming right off with a bit of gasoline. Gasoline, I find, works excellent on for removing labels and stuff off frames. Believe it or not, it's not very harsh. It's just strong enough. Of course, you don't want to keep rubbing the original labels with it if you don't need to, but yeah, gasoline works excellent, I find. So I've just sprayed down, oil down every single tube and chainstay, and it's all coming down and ending up in the bottom bracket shell here, just to prevent rust in the future. Do it one more time. Also turning the frame upside down so I get more coverage with the oil. As I said at the beginning of the video, this bike was missing the original left side crank. So I found this triple Sugino, beautiful crank that I had, and this one's got the alloy chain rings that are in really good shape, and they're the round chain rings as opposed to the BioPace oval ones that the bike had originally. I think this chain set's gonna go, the crank is gonna go very nicely with the rest of the bike. And the middle chain ring is slightly smaller, which will give a much broader gear range. It's personal preference, of course. It depends on the kind of train you'll be riding. But the difference between the biggest and the middle chain ring on the original crank was much smaller. So this will give a nice balanced range. And the smallest chain ring was a 28, and so is it. So it's a 28 on this one too. So no losses there. Cleaned up nicely. I might give these a light buff just to brighten them up a little bit. I'm not going to go crazy with them. Okay, the rear derailleur definitely needs some work. At the very least, a very good cleaning. It's just full of all kinds of here's of oil and grease. So we're going to take it apart and give it a good cleaning. It's a great derailleur. One of my favorites. It's all metal and it's all silver, like all bike parts should be. But this one has seen better days for sure. But we're gonna fix that. Okay, so I've after disassembling the brakes, I've polished the brake calipers, give them a nice little buff, and I actually polish every little washer here. Um, I find that when everything is nice and clean, because when you're adjusting brake pads, these are moving parts. Uh, Everything adjusts much better. Everything responds to your little adjustments much better, and that makes adjusting cantilever brakes, as everybody knows, is a bit of a pain. So having that fine adjustment when everything is nice and clean and polished, it just makes it much easier, I find, to adjust. And plus, everything looks much better, of course, when polished. Now I'll throw everything in, all these little hardware. I'll put everything in evaporust overnight, just to get rid of some dirt and rust that's deep inside these bolt holes, bolt heads, and everything will come out brand new in the morning, and then we'll put everything back together. So I've decided to use the original bar end shifters, but they have a lot of scratches on them, especially, of course, on the outside. I don't know if the camera is picking that up. So there it is. I did a little trial run on the underside of these, of the one of them, and it comes out really nice, polished up. So I've decided to take them apart and polish these up, and then they'll pretty much be good forever. If they get scratched up again, they can be buffed out. So I'll take these apart and polish them. So just gonna check the front wheel bearings here. We'll probably at least need some grease. I found this Miata stem in my parts bin. It's a little rough, but I think it'll go nicely on this bike. Just needs to be polished up. So I'm just going to start with a 1000 grit fine sandpaper, wet sanded, and then buff it out. I'm actually using a bit of just polishing compound for a car, for paint. Anything works really. Of course, metal polish is good, but I find any paste with a bit of abrasive paste works as a final polish. This clearly works because you can see all the like the marks that are coming off of it. So I just use a bit as a final step just to give it that extra shine. And there it is. Pretty good. Didn't take very long. All right, let's take a quick look at the parts. The cassette all cleaned up. Gave the cranks a quick polish. Nice and clean. The rings cleaned up really nice. All the bolts and the spacers. The brakes looks kind of scary, doesn't it, with all those parts, but everything is nice and clean, ready to be put back together. The headset, same, it's in great shape, all the bearings and the races. The cable stop, I'm not sure which one I'm going to use, either the original, which I'm not crazy about, I find it a little bulky, or I might put the other one on, depending on how they look. Brake levers, the bottom bracket, axle, front derailleur. The shifters I polished up. They turned out really nice. The rear derailleur, all cleaned, polished. That stem from another Miata, ready to go. The bolts and the original handlebar. And of course the wheels, did all the bearings, trued them up, ready to go. So time to start putting it back together. These little seals back on. Actually. So really important to put, of course, the fix cup on there really tightly to make sure it doesn't come loose. So I'm going to put my tool on here and put this rod in from this side. This way. And I have part of my headset press on this side. Just going to put another nut on the other side. So this makes sure that my tool doesn't slip off, because it doesn't have very much to grab onto when I go to tighten that that fix cup. Yes, the frame is in the stand, but of course I'm supporting it because that's a lot of force. And that's nice and tight on there. All right, the bike is finished. So, full honesty, I had every intention of showing you how I routed all the cables and dialed in the brakes, but it turned into a full-on swear fest, to be honest. Imagine a grown adult wrestling with a bunch of wires while shouting out words that would get this video demonetized in 2 seconds. It was fiddly, frustrating, and to be honest, not fit for YouTube. So just so you guys know, the cables are in, the brakes and the gears work perfectly, and I survived. So I think the bike turned out pretty good. I hope to find someone that's going to enjoy it for what it was built for, and that's long distance touring in style. Hope everybody enjoyed this build. If you did, please comment and give it a like. As you know, it helps the channel a whole bunch. And please subscribe if you haven't already. And I hope to see you in about a week and a half with the next build. Bye for now.